I'm Casey Kasem. Another one of the debut songs is by an English band named after a character in a 1968 movie. A movie that's become a cult favorite at science fiction film festivals, the movie Barbarella. In the film, Jane Fonda played the lead character of Barbarella, who has adventures in outer space while searching for a missing Earth scientist, a scientist named Duran Duran. Now, here's the band that named itself for that scientist. They come into the countdown at number 34. Duran Duran and Hungry Like the Wolf.
Dark in the city, night is a wire, hungry like the wolf.
The five-man English band Duran Duran, one of 17 foreign acts in our countdown this week. They're at number 34, debuting with Hungry Like the Wolf.
Casey's Coast to Coast. American Top 40. American Top 40.
Now we're up to the first American hit by the English band that British fans have chosen as their number one recording act. This band swept the recent British Rock and Pop Awards. That's the annual poll in the UK that's similar to the People's Choice Awards and Dick Clark's American Music Awards here in the United States. The fans do the voting. Well, this band won for Best Group. Their album Rio was picked as Best Album, and their lead singer, Simon Le Bon, was chosen Best Male Singer. They got second place award for Best Single. But the reason they didn't get first place, apparently, is that the fans split their votes among 3 different singles by this group in that category. Those 3 songs are Save a Prayer, Rio, and the song that's become a big hit here in the USA, Hungry Like the Wolf. And for American fans, that identifies Duran Duran. Keyboard player Nick Rhodes says this about their success. For 2 years now, we haven't stopped working day in and day out. It's the only way to stay on top. We want to be hugely successful, and hard grind is the only way to do it. It would have been easy to blow all our money on Rolls Royces, but instead, we decided to reinvest it in the band, take a few chances, and see if it would pay off. And Duran Duran's been laughing every day on their way to the bank. Here they are at number 3 with Hungry Like the Wolf.
Dark in the city, night is a wire, and I'm hungry like the wolf.
7th consecutive week in the top 10, second week at number 3 on American Top 40, Duran Duran and Hungry Like the Wolf. The 2 biggies are up next.
Casey's Coast to Coast. American Top 40.
Now on American Top 40, we're up to the song by the hottest teen idols in England today. They're constantly mobbed by teenage fans, always have a song near the top of the charts, and the British papers call them the Fab Five. I'm talking about the group with the double name, Duran Duran. And the pandemonium they're creating in the British Isles is being compared by the press to the Beatlemania of the 60s. Their nickname, of course, is derived from the Beatles' nickname, the Fab Four. The current lineup in the Fab Five, Nick Rhodes, John Taylor, Roger Taylor, Andy Taylor, none of them related, and lead singer Simon Le Bon. They've all been together now since 1980. They had hits in 81, but it was in early 82 that their popularity just exploded in the UK. That same year, one of their hits made it to the American charts. Hungry Like the Wolf hit number 3 here. And during 1983, Duran Duran mania has been spreading to this country. When the band appeared at a store in New York City to autograph copies of their video cassette, more than 4,000 fans showed up. And a few issues back, Rolling Stone magazine put Duran Duran on the cover, also calling them the Fab Five. Of course, they're a long way from any serious comparison to the Beatles, but saying that doesn't take anything away from Duran Duran because they're doing just great. Their 4th consecutive Top 40 song here in the U.S., Union of the Snake, was a number 3 smash a few weeks ago, and they debut this week with their 5th Top 40 record. Coming in at number 37, Duran Duran and New Moon on Monday. Duran Duran on American Top 40, the first of 2 hits in our survey. Later on, we'll hear Union of the Snake. This one, debuting at number 37, is called New Moon on Monday, as the countdown rolls on.
The hits from coast to coast. American Top 40.
Now we're up to the song at number 16, New Moon on Monday by the popular English band Duran Duran. Like a lot of stars, the members of Duran Duran are heroes to their fans. And at least one member of Duran Duran has a hero of his own, the most famous fictional spy in history, British Secret Service agent 007. Bass player John Taylor says, "I dig James Bond to the point of obsession." Unquote. Since Duran Duran's recent success, John's been able to indulge that obsession. He now has a video cassette copy of every James Bond movie ever released. He owns a gold-painted Aston Martin car just like the one in Goldfinger. James Bond fan and bass player John Taylor is at number 16 this week with the rest of Duran Duran. Here's New Moon on Monday. Moving from 22 to 16 in our countdown, fifth week on the chart, that's the fifth consecutive top 40 hit for Duran Duran. New Moon on Monday. 15 hits to number 1, and we're counting them down.
Casey's Coast to Coast American Top 40.
This is Casey Kasem on American Top 40 in Hollywood. Now we're up to the latest hit, the sixth consecutive hit for one of the hottest new British acts today. A group who've been playing to sold-out houses across America. But when they recently played to a 15,000-seat arena in Oakland, California, they played to over 12,000 empty seats. 12,000 empty seats that on 2 previous nights had been jammed. The group Duran Duran had originally scheduled 2 concerts at the Coliseum in Oakland, California. Both were advanced sellouts. Then a decision was made to play a 3rd concert there, which would be taped as a home box office concert special. But rather than selling tickets for the taped concert, the band decided to give the tickets away. People from the Coliseum were sent out to give the tickets to whoever wanted some. But they had a terrible time giving away the tickets for free because no one would believe that Duran Duran was actually doing another concert and not charging for it. They managed to hand out only 2,500 tickets, which was enough for the videotaping. But it sure is interesting how people just can't believe that something that good would be given away for free. And in most cases, they're right. It's better to be safe than sorry. By the way, Duran Duran played a full 2-hour set for those 2,500 fans who wound up going to a concert they'll never forget. This week, the latest hit by Duran Duran is in our countdown at number 4. Here they are with The Reflex. Duran Duran and The Reflex. It's been at number 1 in England, and it moves from number 5 to number 4 here on American Top 40. 3 big ones to number 1 as the countdown continues.
The hits from coast to coast American Top 40.
This is our international presentation of the year's top 100 songs. And our next big hit was the first for Duran Duran since they underwent some big changes. You see, the individual members went off to do some separate recording projects, but a couple of the members never did come back. Roger Taylor and Andy Taylor left for good. So Duran Duran became a trio. Nick Rhodes, John Taylor, and Simon Le Bon took this song to number 2, and now it makes our year-end countdown. Duran Duran.
Number 25.
Notorious. The 25th most popular song of 1987 by England's Duran Duran, one of the top groups of the 80s.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
You're listening to AT40's special countdown of the 40 top newcomers of the 80s. We're up to the top new British group now, an English band from Birmingham who burst on the scene hungry like the wolf, danced along the sand with Rio, and are known as much for their modern fashion as their modern sound. Here they are with a kind of impeccably dressed music that's given them 11 top 40 hits and made them the 4th top newcomer, Duran Duran.
Number 4.
The Reflex, a 1984 number 1 song by Duran Duran, at number 4 among the decade's top new artists.
I'm Shadoe Stevens, American Top 40. Here's the story of the biggest British band of the 80s and how they went through 10 lead singers before they found the right one, a guy who couldn't sing. It happened about 10 years ago in Birmingham, England. Some guys in their late teens and early 20s formed a band, but they needed a lead singer. They approached it as if they were casting an actor for a special role. He had to have a special look because the band had a stylish image. They wanted a guy who was a cross between David Bowie, Iggy Pop, and Lou Reed. Well, one night the guys were hanging out at a local club called the Rum Runner, and in walks this drama student from the local university, and he looks the part perfectly. Bleached hair with a brassy orange tinge, black shades, tight pants, leather jacket, black shiny boots. So they tried him out and found out he could barely sing a note on key. But so what? Simon Le Bon was still the right man for the job. Keyboard player Nick Rhodes told Spin magazine, "Our management tried to persuade us for months to get another singer because Simon couldn't sing properly. He was singing out of tune at our concerts. But we said it didn't matter. He looked hip, and he's got the right attitude." Well, Nick Rhodes and the boys were right all along. Simon Le Bon found a style and a way to sing on key, and he's been the lead voice for Duran Duran on 12 top 40 hits. That's more than any other British band in the 1980s. Their latest is at number 11 on American Top 40, Duran Duran, and I Don't Want Your Love. Duran Duran, Nick Rhodes, John Taylor, and Simon Le Bon, and I Don't Want Your Love. It mambo's up the countdown 4 notches this week to number 11. From Hollywood, this is American Top 40. I'm Shadoe Stevens, and we're a bit more than...